And hello, we've gone live. I'm going to switch over to our comments so I can see if everything's working well here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think I know the answer, but this is always the fun part of the stream. Yeah, we should have good wireless audio. So, welcome to the special event. This is something that we've been leading up to for a number of months now, and it's finally happening. So, there we go. I'm live at this Colorado Model Railroad Museum. The party, if you will, is under full effect right now. So I'm going to just start rolling the camera around so that you can be a fly on the wall for this. And if I have any amazing, interesting things to say, you'll hear that. We're going to see people here, some that you know, some that we've had on recently, others that you don't know, but I want to introduce you to. And yeah, we're just going to have fun with it. So let's start going. So as you can see, this is actually kind of a cool thing that they're doing. Check this out. I've never seen this before. So what's happening here is they have a crane that actually operates on the track there. So that's an operating crane that they're using to re-rail a derailed car. I had never seen that before. Actually, since we're there, maybe we can get Cody to talk about it. You want to tell people what this thing is and how it works?
Yes, sir. Oh, on camera.
I'll hold the microphone. The camera's over there watching this.
Is it? Okay. So
behind Steve, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got you blocked.
It's all good. So now it's fully set up. So what we just did, we just got it basically set up and it's ready to go position. So I've already set up the outriggers, but this is a position that it would be in if after they set up the outriggers. So actually, we've been picking up a derailed car here as a simulation. So this is a position that's ready to go at this point. So at this point, I can play with it. I can move. I can swing the crane.
Let me grab my other camera and
Okay.
we'll record this. Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be really cool. Let me do this. Check us out. We're gonna split screen here, guys. Folks, people. Whoops. That's not a split screen. What was I thinking? There we go.
You want me to grab that, or are you gonna look at that?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you want to? Yeah, get right up there. This is our amazing Steve Anderson. Step this way, sir. A little more. Just till you're not here. Do you see how that is? We want. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. All right. Now you can see it both sides. Okay, sorry, Cody. Please proceed, sir.
Okay, so it's a Roco slewing crane. It's an actually fully operational crane. Rocos went to the extent of actually putting the limitations of the crane. There is a diagram that shows you where you can operate the crane with or without the counterweight on the crane and with and without the outrigger set. So there is a very strict limitation to that. If you don't put out the outriggers and say you have the counterweight on and you swing the crane too far, it will tilt. It will tilt.
So does it have motors in it that tilt it?
It has all the motors, and we're going to do a quick demonstration here. So three is going to winch it up, and then 6 does the opposite, since we'll winch it down. And then you have 4, which will actually retract your boom. And then 5 will extend your boom out. 7 raises the boom. 8
keep going.
8 lowers the boom.
Okay.
And then your throttle and direction control the swing of the crane itself. And the crane can swing 360 constantly.
This is so cool. Who makes this?
So it's a Roco.
Oh, you said that Roco. Okay.
Roco. And it's an actual design of the model of this crane. Roco went to the extensive amount of making sure everything was in particular. It is self-propelled. So underneath there is a little engagement. The reason they've done that is because the actual crane itself, if you're at the work site, you know, it gets pulled behind a train, it gets out there. The crane might need to get a little bit closer than what it was set at from the train. So it will go forward and back by itself, but you can also disconnect this drive shaft and have it pulled behind a train.
Oh, cool.
So the maximum weight it can lift is about 10 ounces at its closest point. And I think the minimum is 3 ounces. I'm not quite sure about the minimum, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 ounces fully extended out.
So I'm just gonna ask you, isn't Roco the company that makes the tamper also, or is that someone else?
I'm not 100% sure about that. But we have been out here. We've had a few of the guests pick up the derailed car and re-railed it. So far, we've had 3 successes.
Yeah,
3 successes. So it's been a pretty cool event to have and fun and let them people play around with. But it's a pretty cool little crane to play around with.
Are you gonna re-rail something now?
We can try. You want to?
Yeah, do it. Yeah. Here. No. I'll do the camera.
Let me set it back
Yeah.
up.
See, Steve was gonna try to get out of this, but that's not happening. Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah. I'm gonna move it. I gotta recant it. Put the cross beam in it. Yeah. All right. Give me 1 second. Sorry. So I gotta step in front of this.
So the camera's. All right.
Comes with a little strap hook.
Oh.
Yeah. So it comes with a little strap that hooks onto the end of the crane, and the job that you have to do is to hook it up across the coupler and then lift it from there.
So we're going to let them get this thing set up, and then I'm going to try to show the controls on the throttle as Steve does it. But we have to,
No pressure at all.
yeah. No. What did you say?
I said no pressure at all. Yeah.
No, just have fun with it. It's okay. Here, let me see if I can get a camera person to help. So what we're going to do is watch his hands with that.
All right. Camera's on you.
Okay, so
I'll get the controls back out.
so we're gonna add in our other thing here.
Lights, camera, action. So now he's gonna try to basically pick up this box car and re-rail it. I basically have the cheat sheet out here, basically so you can see which direction and control which parts of the crane. That way he can get the precise movements that he needs to re-rail the car back onto the rails here.
Precise movement, Steve.
Precise, yeah.
We'll try not to let the camera shake as we're laughing.
F4 off.
Oh.
Sorry, I messed up your cheat sheet. I messed up your cheat sheet a little bit. I'm sorry.
See, now what you should have done is you should have intentionally put the wrong things on there and have an alternative cheat sheet. Yeah. This is one of those things that you think of later. Last time we were here, Cody, I think you were dispatching.
I believe so. I do a good bit here.
Yeah, I remember you.
I'm the local tech. I do a little dispatching, and then I try to bring some specialty trains every so often. The Disney train that's actually in the display is one of my personal ones.
Oh, cool.
And if you ever paid attention, the years on the car are actually the years that Disney released those characters. So if you ever know what was released when, take a quick look at the car.
This one's pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether you would see it on the coupler or not. All right, so now we're gonna rope lift, lower, extend, retract, lift, lift rope, F3. There we go.
F3. Here he goes. Look, he's doing it. Look at this guy.
But you're already up, so you got to boom up because now you're out of rope. See,
It's okay. It'll swing it in a little bit, so that's good.
And they went to the extent of the actual operation of a crane. You might not be able to winch something up; it might be too heavy, but you can still boom it up. So you got to take that into consideration. I've done a few lifts with some of the engines at my home that are a lot heavier than a box car, and the winch can't pull it, but I can still boom it up and then move it around as I need to in order to get it back on the track.
Now, I've never seen one of these cranes. How did you find it?
They have actually did a few advertising. This has actually been out for a few years. I believe this has been out since 2018. Again, don't quote me. It's been out for a few years, but it is European. And so, not a lot of European is advertised here. It's just something you have to look for and know that you want.
Hey, what happened? Say, what was that?
Well, because I was too close, it came off of the. So when you're booming, right, it actually moves the location of the hook. So because I had to boom up and there wasn't enough play, it swung it and it took it off the.
So, take two.
So all things considered, you got to really think about what you're doing when you're operating a crane. So winch up and winch down movement is a straight vertical movement. But let's say you boom down, then you're going down, you're extending out. So you have to count that too. If you boom up, you're actually pulling back towards you. The same thing with the extension and retraction is the kind of push and pull, but you also got to count if you're booming up, well, if your winches are moving, then you're pulling towards you. So you kind of got to, if you want to keep it vertical, you would have to boom up and winch down at the same time. And the crane does allow for this to happen. You can have all three motions going at the same time. The crane is able to do it.
Oh, so you have to push all the buttons on there at the same time. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very, the NCE system makes it a little bit harder to do. NCE doesn't have what's called latching. European allows you to like if you were push the horn button and let it go, it'll stop. As you do it. You can't do that with an NCE system. It's not just NCE. A lot of US systems, after doing a little bit of research, they found that it wasn't needed. They thought it wasn't needed for model railroading, so they didn't incorporate in the system. Vice versa, a lot of the European systems, Markland, Bachmann, and all those other systems have this incorporated in their system where you can actually set a button, a function button, like as long as you're holding it, it will activate and you let it go, it lets it go, which would be perfectly great for this kind of situation, especially when you're trying to do those precise movements. So I found, sorry. So I found at home that I have a Bachmann system, and since I'm able to set my functions for the crane itself, I move two of them at the same time, and I can do very precise movements very quickly, and it takes me way less time than trying to do this way, because this way you have to do a quick press on and off real quick for those real precise movements.
So it probably takes a little bit of practice, huh?
Takes a little bit of practice. This way probably makes you a little bit more better because you got to be a little bit more precise. All in all, it's still fun. But it is a little bit better operation with the European systems on it.
So here's a question that's kind of an ops question. So have you guys, or do you during your op sessions have simulated derailments in places where you have to bring this out on a train and use it? Have you done that yet?
I have not brought this to the museum. This is the first time because Michelle told me this was a special event. So I figured I'll bring and let the guests enjoy it. So this is the first time it's ever been here at the Colorado Model Railroad Museum.
I don't want to be a troublemaker or anything, but you might want to consider that would be a very, very interesting operation to have a rescue train operator have to come out and rescue a car that got derailed.
Well, that was the idea. We were going to test this out tonight, and I was going to talk to Michelle about it because I figure, to keep the younger generation interested, this will be stuff they want to see. This is stuff they want to do. This is something they can play with on their layout. This is something they'll be able to play on their layout. Not necessarily for the younger generation, but for more of the preteens and teens, this is something that will get them interested in the hobby. A lot of people think the hobby is not great. There's not a lot to do. We just run trains around, and they don't get to see this great aspect of it. And I think this will bring that out for the museum and get more younger generations on it and keep this hobby going and going and going for generations to come.
And it's all about the engagement, right?
Yes, it is very much about the engagement. If you can get that interaction, that first spark from anybody, and you don't know what they, what they're going to be interested in, if they're going to devote to this. I was 8 years old and I lived in Chicago, and the metro went by one day, and that was it. I've been doing this since I was 8. So you don't know what it is that triggers that person to want to do this.
So you were really susceptible to the bug at an early age.
I've been doing this for a long time. My wife, we've been married almost 2 decades now. But in high school, I had a layout under my bed. And, high school is the year that a lot of kids pick on you. And then I showed her my layout one day when I went home, and I showed her my, sorry, it went away. I showed her my layout, and I was like, this is me. It's like, are you staying? Are you going? And we've been married for almost 2 decades now. So she understands. My little girl comes here all the time, and she loves the caboose. She wants to go to the museum all the time. So you just don't know what people really like, and you want to give them as much possibility as they can to experience the hobby and give them all the possibilities. So that's what we're trying to do here, is to get that outreach and show people what the hobby is really capable of.
This is really cool. It looks like he's almost got it.
It's just the pressure's on him. That's all it is. The pressure's on him. He got it a lot quicker the first time.
Well, like we said, no pressure, Steve. No pressure, Steve. You want to explain what you're trying to do here?
Well, so right now I've got it all hooked up and I'm ready to go. And now I've got to actually align the wheels. Okay, now I've actually got to line the wheels up with the track so that the flanges will actually go where they're supposed to go. And so that's kind of the hard part, because now you got to figure out, do you want to boom out? Do you want to winch out? Do you want to turn? So you got to figure out what angles you want to go. I think I want to boom out just a little.
So, yeah, well, we'll find out.
Yeah, it's trial and error. It's trial and error, but eventually you get it, and it gets funner. I've taken, for my smaller ore cars, I would double sling it, because I could put 2 slings on that cross beam, and I'll hook one end of the sling to one coupler and the other end to the other coupler, and I'll actually fully pick it up and swing it and put it on another track. So there's a bunch of different things you can do. You can simulate things like I would drive it out on my layout to pick up another car that's derailed, but in this case I wouldn't set up the outriggers. It'll just be straight in front of me. You only got that small forward and back move, so there's just no limitations of what you can mentally think of and mentally can do, but it's limited to your imagination.
So you do it on the same track, or you can do it on an adjacent track like this.
You can do it wherever you can get the crane to go. So and
it's really cool. I've never seen this before, so I'm really intrigued by this.
And a lot of people haven't. That's another reason I wanted to bring it, just to get it out there that we have this. We have these capabilities now. DCC has done a lot for the railroad community that a lot of people don't realize. They just, like I said before, they just think trains go around and round and round. That's not what they do anymore. So
that's not what we want them to do if you're in ops anyway.
No, we wanted to show you the full capabilities of what the DCC world has brought to model railroading. And this being one of them is one of the most impressive ones, thanks to Rocco.
Yeah.
Did you get it? I'm trying to make sure. Oh, he just missed it.
Did he?
He was perfectly in line. He just missed it.
Yeah, it is.
It is. You get the hang of it. Because like we were talking about earlier, that the what's the word I'm looking for? How the crane actually operates is what you really have to think about. So if he booms down, he has to count that the fact that it's going to extend out too. It's not just going to go straight down.
It's going like this, which is this plane as well as this plane.
Right. So planes, that's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, you have to count all the planes.
You're on both axes there.
Now I'm really bad because my wheels are now, the wheels just turned.
He did get it earlier. I will vouch for that. He did get it on earlier. I think the camera's just on him, so that's he's having a few issues.
We don't have photos. It never happened.
And I've done different things. Like I would get one wheel on, and then I would use the boom to extend or retract to kind of drag the car to pull that other. And that's the things you got to think about, how you want to do that to get that final movement to have success.
What would be kind of cool, and I don't know how you would do this, but to have one crane on one side and have another crane on the other side to pick the whole
Critical
thing
lift.
up.
Right. So in the real world, they call it a critical lift. Whenever you have 2 cranes.
Did you get it? Is it on?
I think it just fell in.
Here, step over here so the other camera can see it too. Here, maybe we should shed some light on this subject. Let me see if I can get my light.
Really got it in because they're about to put light on it.
Can we see it?
I don't know if the back wheels are on or not.
Boy, that really messed up the picture on the main camera. I know. It looks like it's on.
It looks like it's
Yeah.
on.
Wow. Congratulations.
So there you go. But no, there is actually I do know of another volunteer that does have this crane.
Oh, really? You can try that.
So we can actually try the critical lifting if he is willing to bring it in. We can both set up on different ends and try to work together to get a car back on or off the track. So it'll be pretty cool.
The crane taketh and the crane giveth and taketh away. Now
I'm derailing it for the next person.
Oh, is that the story we're gonna use?
He's setting it for the next person. So we try to set it up for the next person.
That's really cool. I might have to come back over here and try this when I'm done playing with the microphone.
And we're here until we close. So we got
Until
2 hours. If you got a free moment, come on back over and play.
Okay. Well, why don't I reset the camera here, and we'll go on to our next deal. That was really interesting. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I could just get Steve. Steve, why don't you come on here and tell people what you thought of that experience?
So it's really, really kind of fun to do it. Of course, it's just like any other DCC thing. You got to figure out where all the buttons are. But it takes really delicate hands to kind of do it because it's like minuscule movements. So it's pretty fun.
I could tell that it was something that you had to get used to. So, all right, I'm gonna push this thing around. Yeah. Before we do that, though, would you like to take a? Here, I'll be back in just a moment. Let's go to the look of the crane here while I take care of some housekeeping here for a minute. This is great.
Attention, everyone. I just want you to know that we cut the cake that was sponsored by TSG Multimedia. They bought
that's
the cake
us.
for you guys tonight.
Here,
It's chocolate
we'll just go
candy,
this way.
so we're all happy.
I just abandoned the crane in favor of cake. Both start with C. So there's something going on there that, whoa, we got a whole mad rush to the cake. Look at these guys. They heard about the cake and they're on it. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to get a piece of cake and I'm going to let you know how good it is or if it's not good. Oh, hold on a minute. We just saw someone that we know here. Oh, no, you got to come over here, sir. But sir, come sit over here, sir. We're going to talk to our friend here. This guy, you've seen him here before. We've seen him here before. This is Goofy Gary. We're going to make him wait to eat his cake because he's going to tell you something very interesting right now. Take this microphone, sir, and tell them something interesting while I go get a piece of cake.
Okay.
Just talk. It's on.
Okay, I like your microphone flag.
That's nice, huh?
Yeah,
Did that myself.
yeah. So I'm supposed to talk
You're supposed to talk just until I come back.
about what?
Tell people about the derailment.
What derailment?
I was supposed to ask you about a derailment when we were here. I forgot.
Oh, well, there's been so many derailments.
Hold it closer to you like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Remember when you did the karaoke?
I do.
Yeah.
So,
There was a story about a derailment.
oh yeah, I'll tell you about a derailment. Okay, go get your cake.
Let me go get my cake.
So he's going to get his cake, and I'm going to tell you about when I was working in Phoenix, and we had a derailment out at the nuclear power plant at Arlington. And the first car behind the engine derailed. And we went out there to figure out why it derailed. And we found out, as in most accidents, that many, many things had to happen before the car derailed. And the same applies to just about any accident. So the car derailed was the first car behind the engine. It was an empty car. It had brand new wheels on it. It was behind the engine. And it was going around a curve. So in doing our investigation, we found that the curve was out of gauge. It was too tight. The car, of course, had brand new wheels, so the flanges were thick. The car was empty, so it wasn't heavy, riding on the rails. And the car behind the engine usually gets the most jostle. If you removed any one of those factors, the car would not have derailed because the car has never derailed on that curve before. And none of those factors were all together at that time. So that's the story on, derailments happen because of many things, not just one situation. So that's my derailment story. Is the cake good?
The cake is good. You sound very wise and experienced. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I'm a wise old man.
Well, we know you're old because I just wished you a happy 150th birthday.
48.
I thought it was 150.
148.
I'm sorry.
75.
I'm sorry. My math isn't so good.
I came to this country in 1892 and started working for the SP at Winnemucca in 1892. I retired in 1940. So I'm pretty old.
Yeah, you've been retired for a long time.
I have.
Most people don't even live.
That was my first career. My second career with the SP started in 1961.
Was that when you became a gigolo for the SP?
Yes. Just a gigolo.
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere I go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a very exciting story. I knew it was something about derailments, but I never heard the full story, but I got the gist of it when I came over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have to edit all of this out.
There's no editing. This is live. You're live right now.
You're kidding.
You didn't cuss, did you?
No, I didn't.
Well, I know that you don't cuss, so
You are really live.
it's live right now. We're live.
It's like, real TV.
It's like a real TV, but it's fake.
In the old days, we didn't have this kind of stuff.
You did carrier pigeons?
No, we used semaphore flags. We used to wave flags
Right.
and smoke signals. Yeah. In fact, when I was in Winnemucca in 1892, the chief Winnemucca was still alive. He was.
No, I believe you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I think you should move on to somebody more
Yeah,
interesting.
we're going to move on to somebody who's not quite this old. But before we do, I do want to ask you a serious question. Are you having fun at this event?
Oh, this is fantastic. We've had a great day. The Forney Museum was fantastic.
You might even say it was tremendous.
It was tremendous, yeah. And the Golden, the Colorado State Railroad Museum.
Oh, we had an official announcement.
But anyway, the day has been just fantastic, John.
We spent a long time.
And I know tomorrow's going to be great too.
Oh, tomorrow will be great. We're going to Cheyenne tomorrow, so should be good.
That's right.
Now, there's something happening behind the camera, so I'm going to get up and I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see there's a particular celebrity being scanned right now. So why don't I set my thank you, Gary. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, I'm going to eat my cake now.
Okay, no, because you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So let's turn the camera around and you can see what's going on. Whoa, now I almost lost the camera. If you look, you can see what's going on here is that's Bernard from Mini Prints, and he is scanning Jason Jensen of Jason Jensen Trains. We just did a live show here on the channel with Jason a couple days ago talking about his kits and his involvement with the Colorado Model Railroad Museum, because not everybody knows that he actually worked on this layout. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking around to try to figure out who to shove the microphone in front of, but everybody's eating cake right now. Here. Oh. Here. What?
So you're going to have to take the camera over and look at all of Cody's themed trains. So they're in staging. So can you take your phone?
Yeah, we can make that happen. but I'm eating my cake right now.
Or I can carry the computer and walk along with behind you.
No.
We'll make it happen somehow. His POW train is out on the layout.
So here's what we'll do. I'll go down to staging, and when I get there, the camera will switch, and then I'll be talking about what I'm seeing.
You might want to wait until he's done with Jen. Have him go with you.
Until who's done? Cody? Oh.
Cody.
Oh.
But his printer, POW train is over on the layout by the. So you could go look at it. No, it's sitting there. It's on display.
Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, here comes someone. Here, come over here. Take this.
You want me to talk into this?
You have to talk. Go over here where it's lit.
Lit, fam. Get lit. Send it.
Go back over there next to the light. It's all you.
What do you want me to say? What am I supposed to say? Oh, man. Having a great time. You want me to keep talking? Oh, okay. Here I am. I'm at the Colorado Model Railroad Museum.
Who are you?
My name is Alvin. Some people might know me as Melvin. Others might know me as Fabio. But it's Alvin. Look, Shakalaka, bro. Do you see this? It says Alvin. They put a line under it, too. There's not a lot of people here with a line under their name. So that makes me feel pretty special. The guy behind the camera wanted me to let you know that he did that. So I'm over here at the museum looking at trains. I was doing some rail fanning with my friend Gary.
Do you know how you can tell I did it? Look.
Oh, he has a show the people. He has an underline on it too.
Yeah, mine's underlined too.
Mine's underlined too.
Yeah.
He says.
Oh, I have a question.
He has a question.
We have questions from the audience. Come over here. Wait. Talk to the microphone.
Why do TSG train crew members wear suspenders?
I don't know why.
Is it a question or a joke?
It's a joke.
Oh, why?
To hold their pants up.
Oh, that's a really great joke. That's a wonderful joke.
Thanks, Gary, for the commentary.
The real answer to the question is because if their pants had fallen down, it would embarrass everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm super glad to be here. Ultimately,
We need to have a talk here. Why don't you talk to
Hello.
Michelle for a minute? Here, come
Hi.
on in.
Come on in.
Yeah.
This is Michelle.
Hi.
We both have the best hair today because we got rained on.
So it poured rain, and my hair got straight, and his hair got curlier because I had actually curled my hair today.
I didn't do anything to my hair except for wash it.
Yeah, so that's how that went. It rained for a good 3 hours on us. Yeah, we were pretty wet at the Colorado Railroad Museum. Right? What did you like about that place?
The Railroad Museum, not the model
Right, we're in
railroad.
the model. We're in the model museum now.
You know, honestly, my favorite part is probably the E units. F units? E units.
Well, if you're talking the 57, 70.
Yeah, that's the one.
The Rio Grande. They're beautiful.
I'm such a foamer.
You're really good at this.
What did you like about the Forney? That's the first time you've been there.
The morning. No. That,
So the TSG.
oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I announced the cake thing too. But TSG.
We got to start all the way from the beginning.
This is how this works. This is how this works. When she talks, you put the mic in front
I
of her,
don't have to be like Alvin.
and when he talks, you put the mic in front of him.
Okay. That's how that works.
That's how that works. TSG bought us all cake tonight. It was delicious.
You had another question for me. Sorry.
I wanted to know what you liked about the Forney Museum.
I like the Forney Museum. There was a 1954 Chevy Bel Air that was a convertible, and it was in the convertible display.
Yeah, Their special was convertibles for the month. They changed every month. They change what kind of cars they show off, so it's always fun to go there.
Funny story, my friend Gary that came in right before you did, he had a 54 Chevy Bel Air too.
Really?
It was a 2-door coupe, so it was a hard top, and it was cream on the bottom and green on the top.
So he probably really liked the Forney today.
Yeah, no, he really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I think another favorite part was seeing that N scale layout was pretty sweet. I saw Brad's house on there.
Yeah. Brad's house is on the layout at the top of the Big Ten curve. It's pretty cool. So that's the Moffett Bottlers at the Forney. So yeah. Come on, I'm gonna go.
Okay. People.
We'll say bye to Michelle.
Bye. Goodbye, Michelle. She said.
She said bye.
So people will be able to see the things that Alvin's talking about on an upcoming episode of the podcast, which will be out about a month from now, a little less than a month from now. And then there's going to also be a Chasing Trains episode that's more of the details that happened on this trip for us and this event for everybody here.
This is a great event.
This is a pretty good event. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad that it worked out. It was nice that everyone showed up. Nice for Michelle to open the museum for everyone. And it's pretty sweet that some people are able to run on the layout with a chaperone.
Yeah. So in case you don't know what he's talking about, they set it up here tonight so that guests have basically a chance to run on this sort of world famous layout, and they have basically docents helping so that there's no accidents. And yeah, people just get to run, and not a lot of people get to just come in here and run on this layout. So it's pretty cool. So thanks to the Colorado Model Railroad Museum and Michelle. It doesn't happen without a lot of volunteer help too. So
Thank you for everyone that made this possible, because it's pretty sweet. Once in a lifetime opportunity.
yeah.
So is this good enough? Should we run around and interview people?
Yeah, I'll follow you.
I could be the question guy.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Okay. Where do you want me to go? All right. We'll start with Roy. Oh, we can't talk to Roy. He's operating. Never mind. Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. We have our friend Jennifer over here.
All right, why am I being brought over here? What did I do?
I have a list of questions to ask you.
Okay. Oh, no.
I forget what they are.
Well, why'd you forget what they are?
I wasn't prompted.
As you could tell, things are so well planned.
What was your favorite part about the Colorado Railroad Museum from earlier today?
I would have to say having Mark, also known as Heiss, give us the personal tour, and then getting to go into the actual shop and get close to the engines and kind of hear his stories and his words of what they've done and just like how things are in the shop and all the cool history of the locomotives that are in there. How about you?
My favorite part was the F units, because they were part of the ski train at one time. And I really liked that guy. I really appreciated his big voice.
Yeah, it carried well. His voice carried really well.
Really well. And that doesn't happen a lot. Usually people are kind of timid and, they kind of blah, 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 blah. But he was broadcasting across so all of us can hear him, even if we were over there.
Even if you didn't
You know
want
what I'm
to.
saying?
Yeah, if you don't want to hear, you heard him.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. These are hard questions. I appreciate. Thank you for
Melvin.
coming.
Also known as Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin. Okay, hey, come with me, guys. Are we live? We're on YouTube live? Okay. Let's listen. You guys come stand over here. Come stand over here. Right. We're going to grab this guy. His name is Sparky. Sparky. Come stand next to me and we're going to talk to people. No. We got to get over here. This is my friend Sparky.
Well,
Our friends know.
Oh, sorry. You guys, let's see. Is the lighting okay? Yeah, you go over there. You guys follow this way. Dave, get on this side of the camera. Dave, get. Okay, stand over here for me, will you? Oh yeah, watch out for the operators.
Okay.
Dave, listen. It's super nice to meet you. First time. What was your favorite part about today?
The people, all the people that showed up. This is awesome. Like, how many people are here? Have you counted how many people are here?
I have not. Do you have a head count?
No. That's why I asked you.
I think
we're on top of that right away. Like,
I knew there was 40 plus.
well, they're definitely 40 plus. That's for sure. So yeah,
Nice. What was another question?
I have no idea.
Okay. How did all of this start?
How did all this
Actually,
start. Well, we'd have to find Michelle for that, but I think she got a job after somebody started a layout, and it just kind of went from there, right? Right. That's what.
no.
That's what
We're
you meant,
no,
right?
no, no. We're talking about the meet and greet. Look
Oh,
at
the
your
meet-
shirt. Do you see your shirt?
Oh, the meet and greet. I thought you meant the museum itself. Okay, because that's why I'm here is the museum. Right. But the meet and greet, it just basically it started. I'm on a holiday. So I tell people on YouTube 6 months ago where I was going to go for a holiday, and I hope a lot of people show up. It's usually someplace that I want to promote. And this is an awesome place to promote. I want people to know where this museum is, Greeley is. Come down, have fun, take part. I don't know. This is just pretty cool. But that's how it all started, was just me telling everybody where I'm going to take holidays, people from YouTube showing up, getting together, meeting each other, and having a good time.
What's a holiday?
It's not like a Heath bar. Then there's O. Henry, Score. I'm not quite sure. Is holiday like some kind of candy or?
I don't know. You said you're on holiday.
Oh, well, the holiday I'm on is just I took time off of work to actually come here and check this place out.
Okay. So a holiday is a vacation.
That's the short form.
All right.
See, with you, I never know if it's a trick question or not.
No,
You're
no
looking for
tricks.
something.
I don't have
like,
any tricks.
What sound does a train make when it's drinking?
What
Sound
How-
does a train make when it's drinking?
does it go? Chugga chugga.
Yeah, it goes chugga chugga. Did I do that?
No. How does a locomotive eat?
I don't know.
It chews.
Oh, of course. That's worse than chugga chugga.
How does a train drink?
Okay, no, we're done.
It
We're
chugga
done.
chuggas.
We're done.
That's how that joke
What's your
goes.
next question?
All right. I think we're good for now.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. Listen, thanks for coming. Thanks for starting
Thanks
this.
for you guys for coming, and everybody here should be here. Like, this is awesome. The turnout's great. We had pizza. I got to say thanks to Michelle and Sydney for Michelle putting all this meet and greet kind of together, opening up the museum for us to do this. Sydney for doing the Facebook page and getting everything kind of organized. Without those two wonderful women, this probably wouldn't have happened. So, like I said, holiday, yeah, I just kind of named the place, but there was two people that actually organized and really put it together, and it's turned out awesome so far. And I can't wait to keep going all weekend. It's gonna be great.
But it wouldn't have happened without you though, because you're the one that's like, you know what? I'm gonna go here, and you guys listen. This is where I'm going. That's a big deal. That's because it's you gotta put one foot in front of the other, and this is 7 steps ahead, and it only happened because you put the first foot down.
For sure. And like I said, I wanted to really get here. I wanted to see this museum, first off. And second off, I want other people to know about it. And I'm telling you, take the time, come and see this place. There is so much train-related stuff around here to do. Do it. So that's it. That's it. I got.
That's it. Okay. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. To follow up with Sparky, not Dave, Sparky. Just
Nobody knows my name.
sorry. Shh.
You can
I didn't
edit
say
that
that.
out, right?
Edit that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
All right. Okay.
All right,
Are we
Sparky.
gonna do this again?
Oh, let's do this again. Any last words?
No, get that out of my
Okay, sorry. But to elaborate on Sparky, one good thing, this place is very magical, and Michelle does a good job at making it magical. she has this thing where like if it's not fun, we're not gonna do it. So that's pretty cool. This is my friend James. James, bring him over here. Listen, you stand right here. This is my friend James.
Hi, Alvin.
This is James. I met him today for the first time.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a little while, kinda.
A little bit, I think. NMRA Salt Lake, I think.
2019, I was on your where you're at.
Yeah, just before things went dark.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
No.
Anyway, what is your favorite part about today?
Okay, I think the simulator I just operated on.
Can you
Asking him that question, it should be plain and simple. Meeting Sparky.
Oh yeah, well, aside from meeting Sparky, obviously.
And then you started with the simulator.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of blown away right now.
Because you met Sparky.
And the simulator.
Sorry, we got Humana City Junction is
No, meeting
running
Sparky
by.
is cool too.
Now tell me about this simulator.
So it's part of an F unit cab. It has full control of one of the trains running on the layout that's hooked up with a rail cam. So you actually see what your train is doing, and it's responding in real time as you're notching up the throttle or notching it back, or as you're putting on the brakes, putting on dynamic brakes, independent, main train brake, everything. It's a pretty amazing experience.
Have you ran a locomotive in real life?
I have, but it was a very long time ago.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, it was. So my mom had a friend that probably when I was 8 years old or so, he worked in Symington Yards in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And he got me on, I think it was an SD or a GP40 wide cab that they happened to have in the yard. And I could notch the throttle up a little bit, blow the whistle, and all that stuff. Then one time we got lucky in Hutchinson when they were switching grain cars, and the crew invited me on board the locomotive, allowed me to operate a little bit. And so that was an awesome experience too.
Sweet. And you were 8, you said?
The first time 8, the second time about 10, but it hasn't happened since.
Oh, okay. Until today.
I've ridden in a couple cabs, but other than that, no operating.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've done a cab ride and operated myself.
Yeah, it is an interesting it's an amazing experience to have all that tonnage behind you, to have to learn about all the calculations that you need to make to operate it safely. Yeah, so that was, and this simulator really captured a lot of it. Like it had the amp meter, even if you throttle up too much, it goes into the red zone, and that kind of thing. So it was a pretty good experience.
Sweet. I've only ran locomotive only, so I don't know anything about the extra train weight and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was 10 years old. The engineer was sitting right there, and he could step in at any time, so I didn't really have to know all that myself. But later on, when I think about it, the stuff you learn later on. Yeah,
that happens.
Yeah.
Let's go look at this. Can you lead me? Show me where this goes?
Yeah.
We're going to follow him.
John's got his steady cam here, so he's going to...
It's a little bit wobbly.
It's a little bit wobbly because his steady cam's actually a cart.
It seems like a pretty legit setup. Yeah, we're going to show the people the simulator. Oh, great. Steve's getting the full experience.
Here's the next...
Steve's from Oregon.
Yeah, Steve from Oregon here.
Steve from Oregon here.
Yeah.
Let's get in the simulator. Oh, James can explain. You take this.
Right. So what Steve is waiting for? He's waiting for clearance from the dispatcher to go ahead and put it into forward. It has the full reverser on the throttle, and then now it's having connection issues. And when you're coming at a red signal and you have full-on brakes and everything else, and it loses signal, that can be a very scary experience. Though, it's not like real life isn't without its flaws too. But that's Yeah, it got real there for a moment.
What happened to your hat?
It's in the car.
James had a pretty sweet hat on today.
I did. It protected me from the rain, and it would have protected me from the sun, but we didn't have much of that.
No, we didn't have much of it. So I learned just now that there's a fire in Canada, and it's blowing a bunch of smoke down. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a sad situation. I hadn't heard about it myself, but until I saw that on the chat this morning, that
Not good.
no, it's never good.
Seems like we're having some technical difficulties on the machine here.
So we're looking at the emergency shutoff here in case something loses disconnectivity. There's a red button there. But what he's waiting for right now is the dispatcher's all clear to go ahead and put it into forward, and then go up on the throttle. It has the whistle cord. It has the control to turn on the bell if you're approaching other trains. And of course, it has the independent and then the train brake set up and simulated as well, so that you can do all that stuff. You can even turn it into dynamic, and as I discovered, the dynamic braking is actually responsive in this simulator. It will slow the train down.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Seems like Bill's giving our guy instructions. His name is Steve.
Yeah.
Steve's from Oregon.
That's right. Bill was instructing
Washington.
Bill was instructing Steve from Washington. And I think this layout is in fact based in the Pacific Northwest as well, isn't it? So, yeah. So it's almost Steve's home territory if he were from Oregon instead of Washington.
Almost.
Yeah.
Let John say something.
This is the same Steve that was operating that crane a little while ago. So he is getting the full CMRM experience at this event. He really got his money's worth on this trip.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and John, since I'm looking at it right now and just am easily distracted, I'm just noticing the Edmund Fitzgerald here, just a memorial to Gordon Lightfoot, and his song commemorating the tragic loss of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's a full-scale HO model. It's huge.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. It was an ore freighter, one of the biggest of its day, and it sank fully loaded on the 15th of November, 1975.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it hit stormy weather, and the Arthur M. Anderson, the next ship behind it, made it safely to port. Unfortunately, Edmund Fitzgerald did not. It disappeared very suddenly.
Well, John's gonna show a picture
of that here
in a second. I have a question, James. How do trains eat?
How do trains eat? They chew, chew, chew.
Man, he got it. How do they drink?
Yeah, yeah, I'm a dad. See, I'm licensed to tell dad jokes at all times.
They chugga.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. I'm pretty sure we're off camera, so people can't see us probably.
No, they can't see us. They can probably still hear us.
So we got this microphone.
We're live, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll have to behave.
Probably a good idea. Oh, talk about.
Yeah. So the Edmund Fitzgerald, it was fully laden with traconite ore, setting off from I think it was Superior, Wisconsin, or thereabouts, and heading for Detroit. And on Lake Superior, there was a gale that blew up, like sometimes happens in November. Blinding rain and snow, very choppy waters. It's thought that there are several. I don't quite remember the name of the shoals where the Edmund Fitzgerald was sailing, but there's a thought that it may have struck bottom in the middle, which caused it to, which ripped a hole in the hull, or it could have hogged which is when it gets caught between two swells of water and then bends in the middle because it can't support itself because it's such a huge weight. Okay, now they're getting ready to start here, so. Oh. All right, so I think we may have a go for throttle up here. They're in staging right now. It makes that sound, and I'm not exactly sure what that sound is either. But it looks like there is a green signal ahead. The throttle is not presently responding, so we have to shut it down. We did. So we'll have to talk about, Phillips 66, based in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, or was at the time. They have, in fact, if you ever go to Bartlesville area, there's a museum called the Wola Rock, which is on the original Phillips, who owned Phillips 66. It's on his ranch, and they have a whole bunch of artifacts, including a very old Stearman aircraft, Stearman being a forerunner to Boeing. And so Heath is going to help me on the mic because on the mic here, because we need to fill airspace.
We need to fill airspace, and I am the filling.
He is the filling. Yes.
What are we showing off today?
Well, we just looked at the Edmund Fitzgerald. Yeah.
I thought we were showing off this wonderful place.
And of course this wonderful museum.
Why don't you guys talk about the event since you've been here since yesterday? Well, I have.
Well, he's been here since yesterday. I arrived very late yesterday because of some weather issues that delayed my flight. But yeah, how was it yesterday? I really know very little about yesterday.
Yeah, it was really great. I mean, I got to go to the Strasbourg meet and greet last year, and when Sparky said he was doing this one out in Greeley, I did everything I could to come out here. And between Sparky and Michelle Kempema and the TSG multimedia team, they put together just an amazing schedule of events. And on the first night, we got this really great, fantastic barbecue that it was just really incredible. And it was pouring rain, but everybody was just so happy to be there. And it was good just to sit down and meet people face to face that you'd only seen on a little screen for years in some cases.
Right. And yeah, and even when we've talked to each other, I mean, it's just not the same as, being face to face.
I want to sorry, the camera person wants to interject here for a minute. Let me get in between you guys here.
Oh yeah.
So
we were doing an interview here. I don't know.
I'm the director. I'm the director. Yeah. I just wanted to say that this is the first time that I've met both of these guys.
Yeah.
I've known James for online probably for like 8-9 years or something like that.
Quite a few years.
And I've known Heath now since you started practically, right? Right.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing to me anyway is that when you meet people, at least the people that I've met, they're exactly what you expected them to be. I didn't expect anything different. So, and that I think is, I don't know, what does that really mean?
We're not putting on characters. We are who we are, on screen. We're not, we're performing to some extent, but we're not performers. We're model railroaders, and that's what we do.
We're not professional actors.
No, by no means.
This is one of the things that I've had people tell me many times when they meet me for the first time. They're like, "Oh, you're exactly what the way I expected you to be." And sometimes they're surprised that I'm the same person as I am on YouTube. It's just a weird phenomenon.
I will say the weirdest thing. I can. Oh, thank you. Now we can interview.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things to me though was, like, you've heard all these people on the computer, but then at the barbecue and just throughout today, you'd be walking by and you'd hear somebody talking that you'd only heard through the computer before.
Right.
And it's just very wild to realize you're in the same room with these people that you've, never really met person to person before, but have a somewhat, relationship
Right.
with
Sort
them.
of virtual conversation that we've been having. Now it's a real conversation for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. So, I definitely had a much simpler trip up here, though. My flight was on time and landed early.
By the way, to interrupt our distraction from the simulator not working, it's actually working now. So now you can see. It looks like he's going fast. It looks like he's going fast. He's only going about 30 scale miles per hour. According to the speedometer, and so it's going about 30 miles an hour. And if you look at the actual train on the layout, it doesn't look like it's going nearly as fast as on the simulator. But it's a train with a camera on the front with a snowplow. A camera is mounted into a rotary snowplow. Clever way of doing it, and yeah, and this is actually, I really find this cool because this is actually something I've wanted to set up in a sense at the Magic House. That if I could somehow time or record a video of the layout at the Magic House as the train makes its way around. Oh yeah, so yes, absolutely. So the Magic House is the St. Louis Children's Museum, and since for the last 8 years or so, 8.5 years, I guess now, I've been running the model trains at the Magic House. I've been basically responsible for cleaning and maintaining the layout and trying to come up with new ideas for improving it. Now, one of the ideas that I've thought of, they've since added a locomotive cab that has a video where kids can throttle up and throttle down, blow the horn, and do all those different things. And that, by the way, the idea for that originated with the display that the Union Pacific Railroad sponsored about the logging industry and about how it gets from the forest to the lumber stores. But the simulator is pretty cool in that it has this video, and I thought, well, why couldn't we put a video of the layout, the train making its round around the layout, and that the kids could then control the speed of the video, that make it go faster and slower, and that would have the other advantage that there's a lot of that layout that's actually hidden to the viewers because it's behind walls, and so this would open up those areas for more viewing and more access. So that's one thing that I was thinking of when running this simulator. It's very, very well done. So, and of course the engineer behind this work is standing behind me, giving the instructions to Stephen from Washington. Yeah, that's right.
I wanted to see if I could grab. Oh, should I go interview Steve while he's right now?
Yeah, I shouldn't interview him while he's operating. That's a very involved task.
Yeah, it very much is. But
when did you interview the top secret producer?
Oh, I apologize. I was not holding the microphone correctly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you've heard of the top secret producer, right?
The top secret producer. Yeah. Sure.
So a lot of people don't know the top secret producer, but if you know TSG Multimedia, you know her work. She is always behind everything that is done at TSG Multimedia.
More like beside everything right now, but
listen.
I'm really good at what I do, okay?
You'll notice the attire is a flannel shirt that you just saw, and we're gonna do a real quick change, but we're gonna keep the flannel, but we're gonna bring in the quick change as well. And you still see flannel, it holds through. So this is the woman behind the man behind the TSG.
Yep.
This is me, top secret.
Secret blown.
Yeah.
Was this a scoop? Did we just? No,
We just gave away classified
I
information.
know, like,
oh my gosh.
Are we gonna need to burn this stream after it's
Yeah,
done?
I know.
Is that-
Exactly.
We're
all of
gonna
a sudden.
Hey, but guys, tonight I am repping the women's SIG, Women in Model Railroading Special
That's right.
Interest Group. So, one of the founding members. So tonight I thought I would rep the ladies tonight. So
No, it's yeah.
So what? Why women in model railroading? Why the SIG?
why have a SIG for women?
Yeah.
Because not all spaces are super welcoming, and I don't think that's like really on purpose. It's just they aren't thinking like, hey, let's specifically reach out to ladies. They'll instead go, hey, can you bring cookies or something like that? And we can do so much more than cookies. I mean, we can do cookies. we can do cookies, but we can do a lot more. And the hobby is so interesting that like just like me being around it for so long, everybody makes it look so interesting and fun. So why not do it? So
how long have you been around the hobby?
As long as he's been involved, 2005. So going on rail trips and filming layout tour. I mean, the layout tours is really what sold me on it, because I've gotten to see some really, really awesome layouts by some terrific modelers, and I love every layout because there's always something they've done to solve a problem that they've had, and it's so great to get to share that with people. And then just wow, you look at it and you're like, I want to do something fun and cool like that. So
So what I want to know though is the first layout tour that you went to, did you think that this guy John was crazy, and why is he dragging me to film this layout tour? Were you all in from the beginning?
I was all in. I grew up kind of liking trains and having some experience with them. I grew up in Lawrence, Kansas, and in the city park there was a locomotive that we could play on, and it was a favorite place to go play. And so history, my family has always instilled a real love of history and the history of places. So all of that appealed to me. And then, who could be next to a live locomotive and not be like, this is great,
So I'm going to call myself out.
Since we're talking Lawrence here,
go ahead.
I'll just say that on our honeymoon, we didn't have
On-
a lot of
on
money.
your honeymoon?
Yeah.
And-
Our honeymoon.
Our
On
honeymoon.
your honeymoon.
No, on Allison and my honeymoon.
Yeah.
We actually, Lawrence was part of it. She'd wanted to go to Atchison. Unfortunately, something fell through with the bed and breakfast. So we went to Lawrence instead. And we stayed at the Spring Hill Suites, sort of downtown Lawrence there, which has a passageway from the parking lot to the hotel itself that passes directly over the BNSF tracks.
Oh,
Amtrak passes right
nice.
under the hotel. At probably about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I didn't get up to see it at that time, but that was really a cool thing, and we could hear the trains and then explored it, and sure enough, there they were.
Now, is that when it began for her? Or did she have a clue of your crazy illness before?
I think it actually came to light at some point when my mom was getting ill, and my dad and I were really getting back into the hobby, sort of as a thought of it could be a distraction for him. And we just started going on eBay, and we were going to convert our old collection, which really we grew mostly in the 90s and 80s. We were going to convert it to DCC. And it was all Kato stuff, and we looked on eBay, and suddenly we wound up with more locomotives than we'd started with, and needing to convert them as well. So really, for Allison, it started with a lot of eye rolling and and head shaking, like what's going on here.
I do want to call myself out a little bit though, because like you mentioned, your wife Allison got into it through you, and I sort of made that assumption when I asked you the question. And I do think that that's interesting and should kind of be a part of the Women in Model Railroading too, is that
We can come to it on our own.
it's not always through the guy in your life
Right.
that brought you to the hobby, that people, get into it on their own.
Exactly.
And I will say I'm very glad for the formation of this special interest group, because I have two daughters, of course, and I know my eldest is 8 years old, and she's actually crashed from time to time when we've been doing the teleconference from my basement, that she's come down.
Yeah, I think I've seen her.
Yeah, I think you've seen her a time or two, but she's actually become a pretty proficient operator during the operating sessions. Can move the cars back and forth, and is developing more and more interest. And the more support that she can get as she enjoys that hobby, I think the better for her.
Yeah. It's there to promote women that are in the hobby, women clinicians, women writing books and articles. And we do once a month Zoom where we just hang out and kind of use that as our excuse, if we need one, to sit down and just model. So we have a good time, and we have a lot of men that have joined us that are great and supportive of the stuff that we're trying to do. So it's great.
Do you have a favorite part of the hobby? Because I know like TSG Multimedia is involved in many different aspects, from rail fanning with chasing trains to, as you mentioned, doing all the layout tours. Some people might not realize, but you're a big part of a lot of the conventions, working behind the scenes to do the organization and bringing people together to promote these events. Do you have a specific part of the hobby that is kind of...
Yeah, it's hard to choose because there's just so much to like. But like most people, when we ask them, it comes back to, well, I really like the people. Right. So we've been really lucky that we've met terrific people everywhere. Right. And this event that we're at really attests to that. Right. So we all finally get to meet in person.
Yeah.
And continue friendships that we've all started and been doing for a couple years online. So yeah, it's the people and the layout tours for me.
So is there any part of the layout that you guys haven't been to yet that we should probably show people?
Well,
have we gone all the way down into that corner off to the...
There's also Cody's themed trains. Have you guys seen?
That's true. We gone in the
I
back?
saw some running past them. Most of the layout I've seen has been from the locomotive cab so far.
Yeah, we can go back this way and through the back door. There's no stair. Let's go back this way. Yeah. All right, we can figure that out. Have you discussed any of these boats along the way as well? So as we go through, you'll notice a couple of boats here. These were built by Dick Marshall. He's actually won some awards. These are all remote control boats that actually float in the water. And if John pans a little bit to the left, there's actually some pictures here on the wall of the ships that we're going to see actually floating on the water, remotely controlled and in use. So I think these were donated to the museum, if I'm not mistaken. The area we're about to go into is usually blocked off, and it's blocked off partially because of these boats, but also because of a lot of the fragile items that are back here. So we'll move a little bit slowly through here as we go. Okay, do you want to... Let's get back here first. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to change batteries. I think what maybe we'll do is John will jump on StreamYard from his phone just to keep it going, or... Oh, yeah, just jump to that. Yep, that works too. So we're passing two boats. This is what I find really impressive over here is Sparky 107, 107.
Yeah, I know.
Sparky is the most impressive thing back here. There are specific meet and greet shirts for TSG train crew members. We're all watching you touch it live on YouTube.
But see, we know that Sparky is without gear.
Yeah.
Hands in your pockets or make little hand traps.
They've got there's a little programming station here on the left. This is where they do all of the DCC addressing and keep track of all of the trains that are in their system over here on the side. And we're actually going to move now to backstage where all the staging is. They have an east and a west staging yard. And first thing we're going to hit is the east staging yard. And this is where we're going to switch. A commercial break. Uh-oh. So, yeah, so this is going to be a short commercial break, a very short one. And John is going to very quickly reach and try and find his phone that's right in front of him. And that's what I was trying to suggest. Absolutely.
Are you paused? Yeah, we're paused. That's a good thing.
Well, as paused as you are when you're live streaming to, what do we have? 6,000 people, I think, watching right now. Is that clear? Maybe 7,000. All right, watch for a second. See, what we should really be doing right now is we should turn the camera around so it's facing John, and you could watch him scramble frantically as he shuts down his main camera, swaps the battery, puts a new battery. What? Turn the audio on this one. I'll turn the other audio on. So the audio is not coming through this mic right now. I'm just pretending that this mic is doing something because this is all pretend.
Okay, it's on the built-in audio now.
It's on the built-in. So you probably heard John say that better than
They heard me say that better than they heard you.
And John is not wearing model train suspenders, which I'm very disappointed about. I talked to him and the TSG multimedia team that the next live stream he had to have model railroad suspenders, and he doesn't.
Did you notice that he never responded? He never responded to that request.
He didn't respond to the request, so in my head, he vehemently agreed.
Oh, I see how that works.
How else
no,
does it work?
that should work that way.
If you don't get an answer, you just assume that the other person is going to do whatever you've asked. It's kind of like talking into a wall.
Do you do that a lot?
I do that all the time. And the wall has never done what I've asked of it.
Not surprised.
But I keep doing it. Day after week after month. I'm watching John's eyes as he frantically.
I'm gonna go get Cody to see if he'll give us first-hand info.
Okay.
The top secret producer is going to be producing.
I don't know if there's really enough room for us to walk down this thing.
Can we maybe put the front foot of it over here so the camera is angled a little and then kind of push?
I mean, because of.
Oh, people?
Yeah. So no, we can't. It's simple. We just. But that microphone has great range. You can go all the way to the end and still talk. So I'll just try to follow you with the camera using
the zoomy zoom.
Yeah, because I can't come out the other end anyways. There are steps on that.
That's true. There are steps on that end.
Just don't go too far. So
yeah.
It's only 20.
Do you want to go back to the other camera and do the video off the iPhone? Well, I'm looking at a John Deere consist right now that the green and yellow just jumps off the tracks. So it might be worth coming to see. There is a hooker train. There is a Union Pacific 4014 pulling a Union Pacific passenger train that, might be worth bringing. Should we go walk all down just to make John walk as far as possible?
Yeah, he needs a step.
McCormick. We're on this camera.
We're on that camera now. For some stupid reason, I can't see it on here, so I'll just do my best to try to make it. Okay.
What can't you see on there?
It doesn't show me what's on the camera. It just takes.
Well, that's helpful.
No.
So we start down here. Cody hopefully will be on his. Oh, there he is. Here he is. Our top secret producer has brought the man, the myth, the legend himself. He is going to start here at the John Deere end, and he's going to walk through this collection of model trains that is something to be seen.
Are they all yours, Cody?
They're all mine.
Take the microphone.
Sorry. Good evening. Yes, they are all mine. They are from Bradford Exchange, the Hawthorne Village collection of each one. Here at the beginning, we have the John Deere train and I currently do not have my throttle. It's being used on my crane, my slewing crane from earlier. But they all are DCC equipped now. They don't come that way. I do all the conversion myself. I convert them to DCC. I put running lights and things of that in them. I'm actually going to go grab a throttle so we can kind of hear them and see some of the lights and stuff I put in later. But at the beginning here, we have a John Deere train. Are you guys actually moving? Can I borrow that real quick, Curtis? I just want to type in something. I'm not going to take yours out for the camera. So
He's a professional. He knows what he's doing.
So we'll type in this one real quick and get. And here comes yours. There you go. Okay, so I did start them up for you guys so you can kind of see some of the work that's gone into them. So they have their headlights. I put custom lights inside the engine. I also make both engines powered because from Hawthorne Village, the B unit does not come powered. So I do all that work myself. And each color light matches the color of the train. As we move down, you'll see the John Deere will have green lights. The McCormick train will have red lights. And the Royal Gorge train will have orange lights and so on and so forth. They're all from my personal collection at home. I generally find these off eBay, and I do all the work and conversions myself. I put the lights inside of some of the passenger cars. As you go through, you'll see that the passenger LEDs will match the color of the cars. I put resistor wheels, which helps us on our layout for detection. I clean them up a little bit, metal wheels and metal couplers as we go through. Some of them I do add extra scenery to as we move down here to the Royal Gorge routes trains. There are people inside the outside cart. I'm still working on the dome cars. There are some that I have people in them at this point, but it is a work in progress. It's a lot of taking them apart, putting them back together, gluing, getting the right picture set, and getting the right moment. If you take a close look at some of the outside cars, you can see people taking photos of other people, couples out there just talking together, kids on shoulders. There's an old man yelling at one of the younger guys for sitting on the bench in the wrong direction. It's a lot of enjoyment. So I take my time in doing these kind of things. And as you get closer to the Royal Gorge route at the end of the train, I have one of Bachmann's Pegasus trains. This engine is designed from the early 1800s, and I currently do have a throttle with me, but I did convert it over to DCC. It was one of my most difficult engines to convert, but it has a very funny high-pitched wheel. If you give me a second, I'm going to grab a throttle so you can hear it because it's very distinct to that engine during that time period. No, it's on.
Hold on. We're going to switch camera people. Okay.
Okay, so it's got a pretty cool little whistle. And this is, again, prototypical to that time period, and it is fully operational. Again, it's been one of my most difficult conversions I've ever done, just because of the working room of the engine. But it's still a work in progress. But from the point I have it now, I'm really excited about it. And once it's fully done, I'll be excited to run it around the layout. You were done with it. Over here, I'll hold on to it. I'll put it all back for you. Thank you. And we'll continue to move down to the other side of the collection. Here we have the Indian Scent head corn train. It's one of my most shiny ones. I really like this one. It's basically the scents back in, I don't want to say the wrong time period, but I believe it's the early 1900s. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this train was one of the more harder ones to collect, especially to get all the pieces. They were very rare. They're very hard to get. So it's taken me a long time to collect as many pieces as I have for this train. But yet it's still not my most expensive in my collection.
on top. Aren't these motive power Bachmann?
Yes.
The ones that you get from
Yes.
yeah.
So the actual manufacturer is Bachmann. They are
That's what I
Bachmann units. All the parts inside are Bachmann. I get all my parts from Bachmann. So Bachmann, if you want to sponsor, trying to get you to sponsor, here's a chance. We do run a good bit of your collection at this museum. There's a few of the other trains that we don't have out that I actually work on that are actually museum trains. There's a Star Wars and a Star Trek train that are all Bachmann that I also converted over that we run for special events. So Bachmann, here's your sponsor chance right here. The next, we run a good bit of line of your stuff. So
we're not saying anything, but you know,
yeah, just letting you know, all this is your equipment. The next train is Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's hanging out on the caboose there. I do have the whole collection for this one. I was able to obtain it. This one again took a little time to obtain, but the main cars you see here are Lizard, Venom, Dr. Octopus, the Cringe, Sandman, and the Green Goblin, of course, classics. And then you got some of your other super villains and superheroes as you make your way farther down. You got Rhino, Electro, and Mary Jane, just to name a few. And again, you got the lights to match the cars, so all these cars do have red lights in them.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Do they add cars to the collections, or is once it's released fully, that's it?
They do add cars depending on the collection from time to time. The POW train, which is actually out in the layout. Have you seen that one?
Not yet.
And we can roll out there and see that.
Yeah,
so
we'd
the
like to see
POW
that.
train started with one general, I think 12 cars, and I think they're up to like 26 now.
Well, so they do release them from time to time.
They do depend on how popular they are, how many people are purchasing the trains and things of that nature. They'll continue to make more things of like presidents. I have different president trains. President Barack Obama, President Donald Trump, they all have their own trains, and they add them. They'll add cars as they do speeches or different events. They can continue to add these cars, depending on how popular the train is, depending on how many cars they'll make. For instance, the Lord of the Ring train is 2 engines and 3 cars, and I haven't found anything more to that extensive amount. But as we mentioned, the POW train has over 20 in its set, so it all depends. So we're going to go out and see.
Yeah, we should try to find that.
Trust me, I'm trying. I keep a wide search on YouTube all the time. All the time.
Oh, it's just stuck in there. Yeah.
The mic cut out when you got to the other end.
I knew it would.
Turn that mic on.
Yeah, I
So
knew
that
it would.
light's on right now.
Yeah, I noticed it had switched. We're gonna go try to find his POW train. So. Oh.
We've already looked at. We've already got the slewing, the local crane, right?
Yeah,
one of my
that's
collections. So we've already done a full episode of that. That thing's
Yep.
pretty cool.
Hi, Bob.
Hello
Last
there.
time we saw you, it was here too.
Yes, I never left.
Yeah, you live here, don't you? Kind of like when I was a kid, we thought the teachers lived at school. Oh, here it is.
Because I do have a few more, but this is all I can really carry to the museum in one trip. The POW train is one of my most cherished ones. I actually built a personal shelf in my office. So this train actually runs around my office as I'm working at things. But this train is constantly adding more and more cars every year. And every year I try to get more and more cars added to the collection and sell it. It's just depending on when I can catch them at a good deal. And as you can see, I invest heavily in rare collectibles. So it's just a slow and steady pace. But I do enjoy doing it. I do enjoy converting them all over. It's been a great hobby for me. It's helped me throughout the years. It's a natural relief for me. I don't know how to put it into words. It's just a really good thing. Can you switch back to the other mic? I can't. It's not.
It's on. It should be connected.
The battery's showing
Are you noticing any audio levels on this? Oh, really? Did you mess with any of the switches?
just the one on top. Switching that battery. I'll take this. Get the camera working.
Here, we're gonna switch camera people.
Okay.
Let me see if I can make that work.
Is there a favorite car in this consist of yours?
For the POW train,
For the POW
I love
train.
them all, and I kind of put them in a scheme. So it kind of, for the dome cars themselves, they kind of roll as we honor them, where everybody's free because of the brave, and then it kind of moves into the death side of it. So the first car rolls into the death of the soldiers, then you have roses, and then you have the salute to the soldier, and then you get rolled to the missing man table. And then it reminds everybody that Memorial Day, although it's great, everybody gets a day off, it's a paid holiday, pools open. The actual meaning of this holiday is for those who have lost family members for the great cause about freedom. So I love this train because it helps remind us, as Americans, that people have actually given greater sacrifices for this cause, and it's a really good train. We got some of the great things, the Marines here with the raising of the flag, Imagino. This is the armies, and then you got the freedom ride of the bike and just a general trailer. The greatest car, you asked me which one I like the most, is definitely this Eagle. This Eagle is like, it's solid brass. It's a super heavy brass, but the detail and the time they put in this Eagle is very outstanding. It's very ironic to our nation and the symbol of our nation. I think they did a very outstanding job with that. That's why I got the spotlights kind of shining on them at the same point.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, the two spotlight cars on either side.
Yeah, kind of get it from all angles to make sure it really lights up the meaning of the car there.
How long have you been collecting all of these cars?
The POW train in general, or just all the trains?
Just the Hawthorne series, or just getting into this?
So I've been into model railroading since I was 8. I started collecting the more rare collections that we just videotaped maybe about 3 years ago, I would say. Did we get the Disney train up front?
I don't know.
We didn't see the Disney.
Nope. Okay, well, let's go get the Disney train.
I'll find you. I gotta switch microphones because the batteries are actually dead for real.
Oh, well, there you go.
Doing a lot of videotaping.
There we go. Yeah.
The Disney train up in Department 56 is it's another one of my personal trains. If you actually pay attention and look closely, the Disney train does have years on them. And those years represent what year Disney released that train. That's why the first car, as we get over here, you're going to see it's going to be that grayish color, that dark brownish color, because they didn't have color TVs back in the 1920s. We'll just roll on down there.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Probably. There is.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's just going in on the other side. So as it comes out here, we'll be able to see some of the years, and maybe you can spot what year, what character come out, and we'll name something as they come. So here comes Mickey on the front with his presence. Again, that one's that grayish color because 1920s, they didn't have TV. And then you see some of the beginning characters that Disney first released. It's not to the 50s you start seeing, if you can name them as you go. There's the Dalmatians for the 60s, the Aristocats for the 70s. Little Mermaid was released in the 80s. You got Lion King for the 90s and Lilo and Stitch for the 2000s. So if you really ever had a question of when a Disney character was released, just come on down to the museum and take a look at the train.
That's fantastic. So I've heard a little bit of a rumor that you don't just collect the trains, but you've actually dressed up to honor some of the characters of what are in the trains. You got any stories about that you're willing to share?
So this past year, not including this year, but this past year, I was the Grinch. So if anybody was wondering who was the Grinch messing with all the kids, that was me, wrapping up mom and dad, scaring the kids. It's a great fun for me, great release. I did Spider-Man. Spider-Man this year. So generally any character that you see, aside from sci-fi, Star Wars, I don't do those. Those Michelle actually has other people that do those, but any of the holidays is generally me. This year I'm thinking about being the Joker for superhero days. So you can come down and see that. It really just depends. If we got an event, I like to do. One Christmas I was the Easter, not the Easter Bunny, the Pink Bunny from what's the movie? Christmas Story. Have you ever seen A Christmas Story? Ralphie dresses up as the Pink Bunny. I do have that Pink Bunny suit. I did walk around the museum in Christmas in that Pink Bunny suit. So it's a really good kid, and a lot of kids get a good laugh at it. Gives the adults get better laughs at it. I had more adults excited about the Grinch than I did the kids. So just come on down.
So it's not just about the trains with you. It's a lifestyle, as they say. It's a lifestyle.
I guess I'm very outgoing about doing things of that nature, yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I've been noticing, too, there's a gentleman over here to our other side. He's been carrying an Easter basket around with him. Speaking about the bunnies, what's going on here?
I am raffling off one of my cups.
Oh,
for the Zenskill Man Cave. So it keeps your cold drinks cold for 24 hours. Hot and warm drinks for 8 hours. So they're pretty good. I've had it in front of the fire. Kept all the drinks nice and cool inside the cup. So I was like, yeah.
So how do people enter this raffle?
You say I want a ticket, and you get a ticket, and then tonight we're raffling it off.
And then you pick none of them except this one.
So the secret producer has instructed what ticket needs to be picked tonight. So I think we're going to get out of the corner now. I think our top secret, not secret producer, John, has fixed the technical setup for today. Are we driving outside now? Is that the theory, or are we driving?
We're gonna do a thing about the auction.
Oh, let's go do that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna switch.
Louder! No, I'm not going to be louder. Okay, so over on the table, we're going to have like a silent auction, but it's not silent because we can all see who's bidding. So you're going to put your name down. Bidding starts at $40. There's 2 lots over there. So it's just 2 lots. Who are you? I'm just listening. Anyway, just to kind of explain it, there's graffiti cars over there with Sparky 107, 107 on it.
Like those, but different.
Then Otter.
Something going on too.
Can you
He has
do
a drawing.
close-ups
Do
of
you want
that
to talk about it?
stuff that's on that table? What mic are you on? What mic are you on? I just realized I switched it, so I'm good.
A little bit
closer, can't hear
it. Yeah, I'm standing up, please. I'm raffling off one of my cups right here tonight. So if you got a red ticket, we'll be raffling that off. If you did not get a red ticket, come to me, and we'll do that towards around in a little bit. So if you want a ticket, you get a free ticket. I fill that off the last time. Just keep your number, that'd be president. And I do also have them for sale if you want them. $25. But Sean, who's running the trade site, he's right over there. Him and his wife sell those custom made for me. Black Hills.
One more thing I gotta say. And Sean's a regular volunteer here. He comes from South Dakota all the time.
Speak up.
Okay, I'll speak up. So it's great to get Sparky 107, 107 graffiti cars, but the $40 starting point kind of covers my cost on the cars, but not really. Anything above the $40 is going back to the museum. So you guys aren't helping me out with those cars. We're helping out the museum. So guys, keep that in mind when you're bidding. Just because it says you're starting at $40, come on, let's get it up there. Let's get some funds for this museum.
Woo! All right. Anybody else have anything they want to say while everybody's paying attention?
Hi, Mom.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Live stream, so maybe she'll hear. All right, thanks everybody. Oh, there's one more announcement. Dispatcher. Tomorrow morning, if you come here, we're going to take a group photo in front of the boxcar out back so that we can get all our mini-me's and put them in front of the boxcar.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time?
Yeah, what time?
I don't know what time is everybody going to be here.
Whenever you tell us to be here.
Yeah, we'll be here at 10. Let's do it at 10. That sound good?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I think I'd be used to microphones. Here's Sparky, our great organizer here. They just wanted to see some of my friends here, so cool. This is Sparky. This is these are.
They're busy playing.
Yeah, they're busy playing, wrestling around. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
the kids?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, John is behind the camera there. That's John Bedfall. Here, we should.
Are you still streaming? I know. I wasn't going to, but I am. No, my wife does all the. Me?
We do on my bad selfies.
I want to get them on the
Are you live right now still?
We're live right now. Which microphone? It should be this one. Yeah, this one.
Oh,
Ask Bob if he's named the dinosaurs.
Who, huh?
Bob, right here.
Oh, this Bob?
Yeah, Bob, tell.
Here, why don't you go over there and ask him?
Yeah. So I met Bob yesterday, and he gave me a tour of the museum. And then today, I got to run Bob's train around the museum. And Bob's named a couple of the items on the layout. Are there any of those names that are appropriate to share to people watching on YouTube? So only the appropriate ones.
Well, as you know, we have 13 dinosaurs hidden for folks to do on the I Spy game. And so I did an inventory of every one of the 13 dinosaurs and I named them. And so they're all family-friendly names, like Greenie, Toothpick, Pinky, the Stegosaurus, Nessie in the lake. Aspen is one of the T-Rexes in an aspen clump of trees. So it gives them a little more incentive to find them and a little fun when they know they have succeeded. And then if they find 5 of them, they get a prize at the front desk.
Oh, fun. Nice. Awesome.
It's a fun little thing. And I enjoy doing it. All of our guests get into it. And I tell them, they say, oh, I found 3 dinosaurs. Well, there's 5 in this area.
Bob, it's been great meeting you this weekend and getting to hang out with you a little bit the last couple of days. So, yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Great.
Okay. I'm going to roll this around.
Oh, yeah.
You going to be on too, Jason? Or what are you going to? Yeah, just make sure you talk loud because the microphone, yeah.
Oh, I don't have
9 volt. Yeah, it's 9 volt. I should have brought more, but this thing usually lasts all day. It was one. It must be old batteries. They're from Costco.
Did you already talk about it on the live stream today?
What's going on here?
Okay, so I just introduced people from St. Louis who hadn't met Jason Jensen.
Yeah.
So we've got Jason Jensen trains here.
Yeah.
And he just got to meet Mike Buddy.
Oh, wait, Mike.
Oh, you started the wrong end.
Yep,
there,
yeah.
everybody.
Joshua Barton.
Hi, everybody.
And James Revere.
We've seen these guys before.
That's right. I think
Yeah,
so.
they might be on YouTube all the time too.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how Jason worked here and did those clouds. Look at the cloud. He was and I shouldn't say worked. He was a volunteer. He put in a lot of hours.
Yep.
And he has a cool picture tonight.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I wanted to show this and then we'll take it to the camera too. You guys haven't seen this yet, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason, what do you think it was 2008 or 7?
Okay.
And here he is back at the hybrid back there.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
look at
wow.
it. We didn't finish yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's amazing.
And then that's today.
Same spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same spot.
Oh,
That's-
wow.
That's amazing.
Jason, we
yeah,
share
the camera here is like that now.
Who's got that?
So explain what that is again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
So this was 2007.
It's not. doing plaster work on the layout. And then this is tonight. Oh, wow.
Right here. Well, I gotta
That's pretty
So
cool.
I think we have one of the most amazing automobile builders right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You
guys should be in there.
Yeah. Who's the automobile builder?
Right this.
Who is this guy?
Thanks, everybody.
What do you do, Josh?
Little to nothing.
As little as
I cook ribs for a living, so
as little as possible.
as little as possible. I do all kinds of different stuff. So I do lighting. I don't know. I a lot of DCC stuff, a lot of painting stuff. I'm a Josh of all trades, so to speak.
Right.
So,
And James is doing lighting too. I saw your truck.
and 3D modeling. You should see some of his
So,
stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the only non-modeler in the group is this one.
No, you should see this one.
Well, I mean, you run it all. You run it all.
I appreciate all the things.
Very nice.
And you all need an appreciator, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, Michelle, it takes someone to give us artists and you know, builders and stuff some kind of structure. Otherwise, we'd be going all over the place.
There we go. I am good at bossing. I'm good at bossing around.
You can organize this.
I organize things and boss people
That's
around.
right.
So there we go. That's my talent.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great event to meet all YouTubers.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
It has
I'm glad
been.
to finally meet you.
Yeah.
It's really only taken years.
Yeah.
There's like fangirling going on.
It's cross fangirling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I'm only about 10 minutes away.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
How nice
It really
is
is. Yeah.
Right.
It's my best kept secret.
Boy, we're only like 13 hours away, so, you know. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they drove 13 hours to get here.
Wow.
We drove 10 minutes. You live about 8 minutes from my house.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, there you go. I just wanted to put that.
Yeah.
You within you.
All right. See y'all
Thank you,
later.
guys.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
Was there sound?
It was sound.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is our hot mic here.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So here, let's wrap this up. 'Cause I'm tired of pushing this around.
All right.
Here, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap this up. Here, can you come help me wrap this up?
We're going to wrap it up.
Here, we're gonna
I'm
wrap
taking
this up.
pictures.
You take a
taking
picture of me wrapping
Do we
it
get
up.
the shepherd's
We
hook
did
and pull you
boss.
off the
Tell them to wrap
stage, or
this thing up.
We need a hook.
yeah?
Yeah, to pull it out of the screen.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. We wish you were here.
Yeah, come next time.
Come
We'll do
next
this,
time.
probably do this again someday. I don't know when.
Sunday?
Sunday.
Let's do it
Yeah,
Sunday too.
we'll
That
be
sounds
doing
great.
it Sunday also,
Yeah,
and some other day.
yeah.
So
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
I'll go back around that thing and shut everything down.
See you
Are you
later.
gonna shut it down?
I don't know how. I thought there was an
All right.
outro video. I can't
How do you
find the
shut this
outro
off?
video.
Oh,
Where's the outro video?
There isn't really an
I
outro
will
for
look
this.
for the outro video.
Yeah. Here, let me do this again. I'm gonna shut this. I'm gonna shut this down again. I'm gonna shut this down again here.
Shut it down.
Let's just give it a this. I thought I had an outro too. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me just. You know, it's too. It takes too long to add one, so we'll just go. I'm gonna just let it run for about 20 seconds, looking at whatever he ends up on. And that looks like a good ending shot, doesn't it? The ceiling. That's good. That's.
Are you out?
Or about to. Just stay looking at the ceiling. Yeah, this is good. Oh, I should have turned off the microphone. It's still a hot mic. It's